Chosen one, victory, the jackpot is officially yours. This is not a statement of possibility. It is a declaration of certainty. You've crossed the line from hoping into having, from waiting into winning, from believing into beholding. The spiritual momentum that has been silently building behind the scenes has finally erupted into undeniable results. The energy around you has shifted. The divine vault has been opened. And your name, yes, your name, is etched on the very treasure that's about to be placed in your hands. What once felt delayed is now delivered. What once seemed out of reach is now right in your lap. This is the season where everything you were denied starts running to you in overflow. You are not just favored, you are divinely selected for this moment. Watch this video until the very end, because something inside your soul is about to ignite. As you do, write your warmest wishes into the comments. Write 99 to seal this divine alignment, and boldly declare that your jackpot is here. This is the moment where wishes manifest and the universe responds in full force. Something powerful is moving because you dared to believe even when it looked like nothing was happening. Now the floodgates are open and your reward is undeniable. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Let this be crystal clear. What's happening right now isn't random. This is destiny being honored. This is divine timing answering the call of your persistence. It's the long-awaited response to the seeds you've sown in silence. The kind of seeds that didn't sprout right away, but rooted deep. Seeds watered with your tears, guarded by your prayers, and shielded by your faith. Chosen one, what's arriving isn't small or symbolic. No, this is massive, direct, and overwhelming in the best way possible. You've been waiting for a sign, and this is it. The jackpot has your name on it, and it's being released now. You've walked through storms you didn't talk about. You kept smiling through private battles. You were carrying the weight of 10 lifetimes while showing up like it was easy. But the universe took notice. The heavens recorded it. The energy you poured out in faith has built up spiritual interest. And now, it's time for payout. This isn't just compensation for what you lost. It's confirmation of who you are. It's your divine receipt saying, you passed the test. You stayed true. You get it all. The victory isn't just about money. It's about divine completion. The kind of breakthrough that affirms you were never crazy for dreaming that big. This is proof that your delays were not denials. They were divine setups. Divine timing isn't always early, but it's always perfect. And this right here? This is perfect. You are stepping into the kind of win that silences every doubt, every critic, and every fear that tried to convince you that your season would never come. Don't question why it's happening now. Don't try to overthink how it's going to all come together. That's not your job anymore. Your only assignment now is to receive. To open your heart and stretch your hands wide, because what's being delivered is greater than anything you imagined. You're not receiving scraps. You're not getting leftovers. You are being given access to divine overflow, the kind of abundance that doesn't run out. You'll notice how people look at you differently now. Some will pretend like they always knew this would happen. Others will be stunned silent. And some, let's be honest, will try to figure out how you did it, without realizing that it wasn't your effort alone that got you here. It was divine orchestration. It was invisible favor. It was the supernatural hand of power working behind the scenes. And that's what makes this victory untouchable. No man gave it to you, so no man can take it away. You'll remember all the times you were overlooked, rejected, misunderstood, and misjudged. But you won't cry about it anymore. Not out of pain, anyway. You'll cry tears of victory, of confirmation. Because this win is so big, so sudden, and so divine that you'll know, beyond any doubt, that only the Creator could have done it like this. It's a reward for being real in a world that celebrates fake. It's compensation for standing tall when you had every reason to fold. It's your supernatural promotion. It's happening in the open now. No more hiding. No more wondering if you were forgotten. The tables have turned, and they've turned in your favor. And not just slightly. You're being catapulted into a level where people can no longer ignore you. You're being crowned, celebrated, and recognized. And not just by people, by the spiritual realm, by the forces of alignment, by everything in the universe that's been conspiring for your good. You don't need to beg, chase, or compromise. You don't need to convince anyone to believe in you. This moment was divinely reserved for you. You are no longer the one waiting for approval. You are the one who has been approved. You are the one who's been stamped with a supernatural yes. And that yes is what's making doors fly open, contracts appear, checks arrive, and wealth flow like a river. You won't just have enough, you'll have more than enough. Not because you manipulated it, not because you faked your way through, but because your integrity attracted it. Your faith activated it. Your alignment unlocked it. This victory is the fruit of spiritual consistency. It's the result of trusting the process when the process made no sense. And now you're standing in the manifestation of everything you didn't give up on. Your life is entering a divine spotlight. The jackpot isn't just financial, it's relational, emotional, and energetic. Love is coming with wealth. Peace is coming with opportunity. Balance is coming with overflow. What you're receiving isn't segmented. It's holistic. It's heavenly. It's more than you asked for. This is what favor looks like when it's uninhibited. This is what divine reward looks like when it arrives in full force. You'll soon realize that everything that fell apart was only making room for what's arriving. That every no was secretly a not yet. That every delay was divine protection. That every closed door was guarding a treasure far bigger than what you were originally reaching for. Your story is shifting now. From silent struggle to undeniable success. From background battles to front row blessings. And here's the most beautiful part. No one will be able to deny that it was God, the universe, the divine force, whatever name you give it, that handed you this win. It won't look like coincidence. It won't feel like luck. It will carry the fingerprint of something greater. That's how you'll know. That's how others will know. And that's how the atmosphere around you will forever change. The jackpot is officially yours. Not in theory, not in spirit only, but in reality. It is being transferred, delivered, and confirmed. Even as you read these words, transactions are being triggered. Alignments are forming. Messages are being sent. People are being positioned. And all of it is pointing directly to you. You did not miss your moment. You are not too late. You are not behind. You are right on schedule for a divine eruption of miracles. The kind that makes headlines in the spirit. The kind that rewrites your story for good. You've won, and this is only the beginning of what that victory will bring. Chosen one, you've entered the chapter where everything starts responding to you differently. Not because you've changed who you are, but because you've finally aligned with who you were always meant to be. The jackpot being delivered into your life is not a fluke. It's the result of divine symmetry, a perfect union between time, intention, and identity. The real you, the resilient you, the spiritual you, has caught up to the divine promise. And now that alignment has unlocked abundance so tailored, so exact, that it has no choice but to locate you. There was a time when you questioned whether your prayers were echoing into silence. You wondered if the pain you endured would ever produce anything meaningful. But the truth is, the pain was never wasted. It was a signal to the heavens, a key that unlocked realms you couldn't see. Every cry, every heartbreak, every lonely night, every difficult decision, they were deposits, not in a bank made by man, but in a vault constructed by the divine. And now, the vault is open. The payout has begun. What's happening in your life right now may feel surreal, but don't question it. Accept it. Receive it. Get comfortable with things going right for you. Get used to waking up with new blessings, because you've reached the dimension where overflow is the default. You're no longer the one barely getting by. You are now the one overflowing with divine supply. You're not chasing money. Money is chasing you. You're not begging for doors. Doors are opening the moment you approach them. You've graduated from the struggle. This victory wasn't random. It was recalculated for you after every delay. Every time someone walked away, every time a plan fell apart, every time you felt forgotten, the divine rerouted the blessing, recalibrated the timeline, and realigned the outcome. And because you didn't give up, because you didn't sell out, because you didn't bow down to fear, you are now in possession of a reward that was built just for you. A reward that only fits your fingerprint. A reward that knows your name. You'll start to see people treating you differently. Some will be inspired, others intimidated. Some will celebrate you. Others will question your worthiness. Let them. That's not your concern anymore. You are not here to prove your value. You are here to live your value. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why the blessing is yours. You simply have to walk in it. Stand in it. Thrive in it. And let your joy become the loudest response. Every single area of your life is now being touched by this victory. Relationships will align. Projects will flourish. Opportunities will increase. Doors that once seemed sealed shut will now open at the sound of your name. Why? Because divine endorsement is louder than reputation. It's stronger than gossip. It's heavier than doubt. And now, divine endorsement has rested on you. Even when it seems sudden to others, know this. This moment was scheduled. It was pre-written into your destiny before you took your first breath. It was not dependent on human timelines. It wasn't determined by who supported you or who doubted you. It was written in spiritual ink, and nothing could erase it. This is what makes it unstoppable. You're no longer in the season of sowing in sorrow. You're in the season of reaping in power. You've entered the realm of divine reversal, where everything that worked against you now works for you, where everything that tried to harm you becomes the very evidence that elevates you, where every limitation that tried to block you becomes the stage that launches you. You didn't just survive, you transformed. And because of that, you now attract transformation. Do not be afraid of the magnitude of this win. It's big for a reason. You were not created for smallness. You were built with heavenly blueprints. Your spirit was designed to carry big energy, big favor, big light. You were always meant to rise to this level. The struggle was not proof of weakness, it was preparation for power. And now that power is yours. This jackpot is multi-layered. It's not just a financial breakthrough. It's an energetic rebirth. It's a restoration of identity. It's a confirmation of purpose. And it's a prophetic declaration that your story has turned. You'll no longer have to explain why you believe in miracles. Your life will be the proof. People will witness your elevation and begin to question their own limitations. Your victory will awaken other souls. And when people ask, how did it happen? You won't need a detailed strategy. Your answer will be simple. Favor found me. The divine called my name. My harvest showed up. And it was undeniable. You are not required to over-explain the supernatural. Let your life speak louder than any explanation ever could. You may feel like you're not ready for what's arriving. But remember, you are not walking into this moment empty-handed. You are carrying wisdom now. You are bringing strength, maturity, humility, and gratitude. You've been shaped by the fire, refined by the weight, and lifted by the unseen hand of God. This blessing is not just for you, it's going to overflow into others around you. The jackpot you're receiving is contagious. It will impact lives. It will set others free. So get ready to move differently, think differently, speak differently. You are no longer in survival mode. You are in expansion mode. You are now the vessel of divine wealth, spiritual clarity, and undeniable impact. And every step you take from this point forward is laced with purpose. Chosen one, this victory will change how you see yourself forever. You will no longer play small just to make others comfortable. You will no longer shrink to fit into spaces that were never designed for your light. You will no longer settle for crumbs when you were born to feast. The jackpot has been released, and your soul knows it. That feeling in your spirit, that's confirmation. That peace rising in your chest, that's divine assurance. That fire in your eyes, that's your new reality taking shape. The season of almost is over. The season of not yet is behind you. This is the season of already. Already loved, already chosen, already rewarded, already victorious. Let the world adjust to your new level, because you are not coming down to explain it. You're ascending, you're glowing, you're flowing in supernatural rhythm. And all of it is flowing straight from the jackpot that's been officially transferred into your hands. Chosen one, you must realize, it's not only what you hold in your hands that's changing. What's truly shifting is what's happening in your spirit. You are being promoted from the inside out. There's a new awareness rising within you, a realization that you were never forgotten, never left behind, and never overlooked. Everything you're stepping into now is not compensation, it's confirmation. The universe is confirming what you've always suspected deep down. You were born for greatness. This victory is different. It carries weight. It's not the kind of win that fades with time or needs to be defended. This is a spiritual landmark moment, one that divides your timeline into before and after. Before this, you were building in silence. After this, you are walking in glory. Before this, you were managing lack. After this, you're flowing in abundance. Before this, you questioned if your life would ever change. After this, you are the change. You don't need to explain the struggle anymore. Your blessing is speaking for itself. The jackpot in your life is becoming undeniable. Things are coming together for you without effort. People are showing up to bless you, not because of what you've done for them, but because of what has been spoken over your life. Divine connections are forming. Opportunities are opening. Suddenly, what was once hard to reach is now knocking on your door. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual law in motion. What you put out in faith has returned multiplied. You stayed generous when you lacked. You stayed kind when others were cruel. You stayed hopeful when everything said you shouldn't be. And now, that energy is chasing you down. Not just for a moment, not just for a season, but as a permanent shift in your life. The flow has started, and it will not stop. There is something powerful about winning quietly, about being elevated after being underestimated, about rising after being rejected. Your victory will not just shock the world, it will humble it. People will have no choice but to admit that what's happening to you is divine, that something greater is clearly guiding your life. And here's the part that might make you emotional. It was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving you right. Because deep inside, even on your hardest days, you still believed. Maybe not out loud. Maybe not with full confidence. But somewhere in your soul, you knew there had to be more. And now, that knowing is manifesting in full color. You are walking into rooms you once prayed to enter. You're holding what you once begged for. You are becoming the proof of what perseverance and divine timing can do. There is a glow returning to your spirit. Not the kind of glow that comes from money alone, but the kind that radiates from peace. From knowing that the battle wasn't for nothing. that the pain wasn't wasted, that the waiting wasn't in vain. You now carry wisdom that can't be bought, insight that can't be faked, and a fire that can't be put out. This is why you were selected. This is why you were crowned. The jackpot isn't just money, it's authority. It's peace. It's knowing that your name holds weight in places you haven't even entered yet. It's walking into a room and having the atmosphere shift, not because you said anything, but because your presence is now coded in divine favor. The energy around you is undeniable. Your win is echoing through dimensions. Let that sink in. You are no longer chasing the blessing. The blessing is anchored in you. Wherever you go, increase goes. Wherever you step, doors respond. This isn't magic, it's divine science. Your vibration has changed. Your frequency has risen. And the higher you go, the more effortless the blessings become. You've come too far to shrink now. You've seen too much to doubt now. The jackpot isn't just what you hold. It's who you've become. A vessel of wealth. A channel of divine flow. A beacon of breakthrough. And because of that, you'll never return to what broke you. You'll never retreat into the shadows that tried to contain you. You've outgrown every room that couldn't hold your future. What's coming next will shock you even more than what's arrived. This isn't the final prize, it's just the beginning. The jackpot wasn't meant to end your journey, it's meant to launch your legacy. You're not just rich, you're wealthy in wisdom, wealthy in awareness, wealthy in vision. You're the one chosen to break the cycle, to start the lineage, to shift the pattern. You are the divine domino that causes generations to rise. Let that empower you. You're not here to simply receive. You're here to radiate. Every win you experience from this point forward is multiplied in impact. It's not just about you anymore. You are now the example, the living proof, the walking miracle. And when people wonder what happened, just smile and say, I didn't give up. There were nights you felt forgotten, times you thought it was over, moments when the silence from the heavens hurt more than the struggle itself. But something in you kept going. And that something, your spirit, your faith, your divine DNA, is why you now carry what others still dream of. You weren't just lucky, you were aligned, and now you're ascending. The jackpot has your name on it, and now it's attached to your lifestyle, to your aura, to your movement. Everything you touch will grow. Everything you invest in will multiply. Everything connected to your purpose will flourish. It's not pride, it's prophecy. You are walking fulfillment. Chosen one, you've stepped into a territory where you no longer ask for permission. You walk in authority. The spiritual jackpot you've received is more than material. It's a shift in your inner world, your energy field, your divine position. And now, every level of your life must rise to match what has been poured into your spirit. You are no longer operating as the version of yourself who was hoping. You are moving as the version who has already received. This victory has awakened a new rhythm in you. It's the rhythm of grace. It's the cadence of someone who knows they are carried. You don't need to chase the timing anymore. You are the timing. Everything is now revolving around your divine alignment. That's why people are drawn to you differently, why resources are showing up without you forcing anything. It's because your soul is now magnetic, your aura is now charged. The jackpot you received activated a spiritual field around you that no enemy can interrupt. What you feel rising in you now is not pressure, it's power. The kind of power that doesn't dominate, it attracts. The kind of power that doesn't scream, it radiates. And now that you're holding the fullness of your win, you're starting to understand why the wait had to be so long. You weren't just being delayed, you were being developed. And now that the development is complete, the reward can't help but overflow. Watch how people start mentioning your name in rooms you've never entered. Watch how opportunities line up back to back without you pushing. This isn't hustle, This isn't strategy. This is divine endorsement. The jackpot has marked you. It has placed you in a dimension where spiritual credit has been activated on your behalf. You're about to receive things that your hands didn't build, but your heart aligned for. And it's not a fluke. It's the natural consequence of supernatural favor. This is what happens when divine intelligence decides to show off through you. Your story is becoming the signal that wealth, peace, and purpose have found a permanent home. You don't need to prepare a speech, just show up. Your energy speaks loud enough now. The glow on you speaks louder than words ever could. Let go of the fear that it's too good to be true. That's the old programming trying to survive in a new atmosphere. The truth is, it's finally good enough to match who you are. It's finally aligned enough to mirror your soul. This win isn't an exception. It's the new standard, the new normal. You've graduated from doubt to dominion, from fear to fulfillment. Your inner life has caught up with your calling. Your spirit is no longer trying to survive. It's thriving. It's flowing. It's magnetizing everything that is meant for you. And that's why the jackpot isn't a one-time event. It's the new default setting of your life. Money, love, power, clarity, peace. It's all included in this level. You don't have to trade one for the other. This victory is whole, and so are you. You've now become the kind of person who walks into spaces and shifts the temperature, not because of ego, but because your presence is now built on unshakable truth. You know who you are. You know who sent you. You know what's been given to you. And because of that, you're no longer available for doubt, lack, or limitation. The spiritual realm has cleared your path, and what you once thought was impossible is now on autopilot. You don't have to know all the details. The jackpot is flowing in divine timing, and your only job is to trust the rhythm. Stay in sync. Keep your heart clear. Keep your spirit open. Because what's coming next is layered with legacy. You're not just receiving for yourself, you're setting a tone for generations. That's why this win feels different. That's why it feels sacred. Because it is. This victory is holy ground, and you've been chosen to steward it, not just enjoy it. You'll teach others how to rise by the way you live, by the way you give, by the way you glow without apology. You'll become a silent teacher, walking wisdom, a living testimony, a soul that whispers to others, if it happened for me, it will happen for you. Because that's what your win is doing. It's rewriting what others believe is possible. It's dismantling generational lies. It's shattering invisible ceilings. You are not just a chosen one. You are a breakthrough in motion. That's why you're glowing from within now. That's why your confidence has returned. Not because of what you have, but because of who you've become. This jackpot has nothing to do with ego and everything to do with purpose. You were always meant to shine. But now, you finally have the space, the clarity, and the provision to do so without holding back. You'll begin to see confirmations everywhere, numbers aligning, people you were meant to meet crossing your path, deals being finalized before you even say a word. Why? Because when your name is marked by victory, the universe bows in agreement, reality bends in your favor. Circumstances shape themselves to fit your calling. Don't be surprised when things get easier. You've earned this ease. You didn't skip steps. You climbed every stair with grace. You didn't cheat your way here. You trusted. And now trust is returning multiplied. And as you continue forward, know this. Your win is permanent. It's not a phase. It's not a trend. It's a transformation. What's happening in your life now is irreversible. The shift has taken root. You've moved dimensions, and nothing will ever be the same. Chosen one, you're in the part of the journey where overflow becomes your atmosphere. This is no longer just a breakthrough. It's a takeover. An invisible force has gone before you, and now every room you enter will feel it. Every conversation will be laced with divine timing. Every action you take will multiply. You're in a realm where favor doesn't knock, it walks in. Where blessings don't ask for permission, they arrive. You've gone from waiting to walking, and now you are moving in undeniable power. The jackpot is not only in your bank account, it's in your presence, it's in your name, it's in your legacy. Every ounce of resistance you once faced has turned into a river of reward. The struggle is not your identity anymore. The warfare is not your story. You are no longer defined by what you survived. You are crowned by what you carry. You've become spiritually magnetic. That's why even people who don't understand what's happening in your life feel drawn to you. They don't know why, but they feel something different when they're near you. That's because you are carrying evidence. You are now a mirror of divine decision. You are walking with weight. And that weight is not heavy, it's holy. This victory is breaking cycles that ran in your family for generations. Patterns that lived in your bloodline for years are crumbling under your rise. You are no longer subject to the patterns of poverty, shame, guilt, or silence. You are not just receiving wealth, you're releasing healing. You're not just stepping into overflow, you're carrying others into light just by existing in your truth. There will be moments where you'll sit in silence and just feel it. The completeness, the peace, the knowing. You won't need external confirmation anymore because your spirit is now grounded in divine reality. You've tapped into the jackpot of internal wealth. And from that internal wealth flows the external. Your clarity has become currency. Your inner peace has become magnetism. Your joy has become your protection. And from now on, you won't need to fight for what's yours. You'll attract it. You won't need to chase opportunity. Opportunity will be assigned to you. You'll no longer audition for places that can't see your value. You'll be called into rooms where you don't have to convince anyone that you're the one. They'll know. And here's something powerful. You don't need to make loud announcements. Victory speaks without a microphone. The blessings you carry now have their own voice. They introduce you before you open your mouth. They defend you without your effort. They move on your behalf, even when you're sleeping. That's the level you've entered. You'll begin to experience divine acceleration. What used to take months will now happen in days. What once felt impossible will now unfold as if it was always meant to be. You'll blink and find yourself in places you once only visited in prayer. You'll wake up to emails, messages, and confirmations that remind you. The delay didn't cancel the blessing. It prepared it. Everything is responding to your alignment now. Even nature seems to lean in closer. Time bends. Energy cooperates. People can feel something is different about you, even if they don't have the language to describe it. That's because you're no longer moving with your past. You're moving with your purpose. The jackpot you carry isn't just a reward. It's an assignment. Chosen one, stop crying, because the answer has arrived. You've cried in silence. You've wrestled with unanswered questions, hidden pain, and seasons where no one noticed your breaking point. You've felt forgotten by the world, and even, at times, by God. But what you didn't know is this. Your answer was in motion all along. Every tear you shed, every night you felt alone, every moment you whispered in pain. It was all counted. And now, the heavens have opened. The delay is over. The answer has been released. You're about to witness the manifestation of what you were begging for. You've arrived at a turning point, a supernatural pivot, and everything that didn't make sense will finally come into alignment. Before we go deeper, I want you to hold on to this moment, because it's sacred. It's your breakthrough moment. Don't click away. Watch this message until the very end. Let the words ignite your soul and lift your spirit. And write your warmest wish in the comments right now, and write 99 as a sign that you're in complete alignment with the universe and ready for the manifestation to pour in. This is your activation point. This is where it begins. Wishes are coming true, and what you speak now has power to shape your future. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. You've been misunderstood for so long. People only saw your strength, not your storms. They didn't know how often you were walking through fire while smiling like nothing was wrong. You carried the weight of generations. You stood strong while life kept throwing curveballs. You learned how to turn your breakdowns into breakthroughs. But deep inside, you've been waiting for one clear sign that your suffering was not in vain. And now here it is. The answer is not delayed anymore. It is here. It is yours. And it will change everything. Your silence has been your battleground. Not everyone knows how much you've endured because you've kept most of it hidden behind quiet smiles and brave faces. But the universe saw it. God saw it. The unseen parts of your pain were the very things that moved the heavens to respond. You've passed through fire. You've graduated from spiritual wilderness. You've endured what would have broken others. And yet here you are, still standing, still rising, still choosing to believe that something greater is coming. And guess what? You were right. You're not being ignored. You were being positioned. There was never a moment where your cries fell to the ground unheard. The delay wasn't a denial. It was divine alignment. Timing is everything, and you've arrived at the appointed hour. The answer has not only arrived, it's about to manifest with clarity, power, and speed. You'll look back and realize that all those seasons of confusion, all those moments of pain, they were necessary to prepare your heart to carry the magnitude of what's about to unfold. There's a shift happening now. The kind of shift you can feel in your bones before it shows up in your bank account, your relationships, your health, your spirit. A spiritual tide is turning in your favor. The gates that were once locked are now swinging open with ease. What was once withheld is now being delivered. The no has turned into a divine yes. The delay has turned into divine delivery. Your time has come, chosen one, and you won't have to beg, hustle, or strain for what's rightfully yours. This is the season where ease meets abundance, where clarity meets confidence, where divine answers meet your open hands. Stop trying to figure out how it's going to happen. It's already in motion. The answer has been dispatched. All the forces that blocked it are now removed. You don't need to force the doors open anymore. The doors are swinging open for you. This is not the time to stress or overthink. It's the time to receive. Let go of the old weight. Drop the emotional baggage. Prepare yourself for the shift, because what's coming won't look like what left. This is a divine reversal, and you are going from waiting in the dark to walking in the light. You've cried over relationships that drained you. You've suffered in silence while others got ahead. You've done everything you could to keep going, even when your soul was tired and your heart was heavy. And the enemy thought that the delay would destroy your faith, but it didn't. It refined it. And because you stayed faithful even when it didn't make sense, the answer is coming with a double reward. What you lost will be replaced. What was taken will be restored. What was stolen will return, multiplied. This is the moment where your tears turn to testimony. Don't underestimate what you're walking into. You're about to be surprised by the size of the solution. You were praying for survival, but heaven was planning your overflow. You were begging for relief, but God was preparing your release. You were asking for crumbs, and now the table is being prepared with more than you can carry. This isn't just an answer. This is a reward, a repayment, a redemption. You are stepping into the moment that all your pain has been preparing you for. The answer may not always come in the way you expected, but it will always come in the way you need. That's why you've been detoured from people who couldn't carry the weight of your destiny. That's why the doors you tried to force didn't open. That's why the silence was so loud, because it was necessary. But now, the silence is breaking. Now, the answer is speaking. And it's saying one thing. You made it. It's your time. Prepare for manifestation. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt stronger. You are not forgotten. You are being favored. You are not late. You are on divine time. The tears you cried in private are producing fruit in public. The parts of your life that were once barren are about to bloom. You're not being punished. You're being positioned for the miraculous. This is your moment to lean in with full faith, to trust the whisper that says, the answer is here. Don't ignore the signs. Don't second-guess the synchronicities. You're walking in divine alignment. You're being elevated now. And with elevation comes clarity. With clarity comes confidence. You'll no longer be stuck in cycles of fear, delay, or doubt. Those cycles are broken. Your spirit is being upgraded. Your atmosphere is shifting. You're no longer begging the universe. You're aligning with it. And alignment activates answers. That's why the answer has arrived. Because you've become the person who's finally ready to carry it. You're not waiting anymore. You're walking in. The season of feeling unseen has ended. The time of wondering when and how is over. This is the season of divine resolution, of bold blessings, of supernatural response. And every day from now on, the proof will multiply. You'll get confirmations. You'll see patterns break. You'll feel peace that doesn't make sense. Because the spiritual traffic has cleared, and you're moving forward with nothing holding you back. Your tears watered the seed. Now it's harvest time. You've cried long enough. But now each of those tears is rising as evidence. Evidence that you stayed faithful when you had every reason to give up. Evidence that your spirit refused to break, even when your circumstances tried to silence your soul. The answer didn't just arrive randomly. It arrived because you didn't stop believing. You kept going through the sleepless nights, the heartbreaks, the disappointments. You stayed soft in a hard world. And that, chosen one, is why you're now walking into divine response. The waiting season wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to awaken you. Every delay was a divine design. Every closed door was protection. Every unanswered prayer was being rerouted to something far greater. You thought you were being overlooked, but you were actually being safeguarded, shielded, hidden in plain sight. Because the answer wasn't just about giving you what you asked for. It was about preparing you to carry what you weren't even aware you needed. Now, you've entered the moment where every piece of the puzzle starts making sense. The pain had a purpose. The isolation had intention. The heartbreak had instruction. And now, the reward has arrived. Not just a small blessing, not just a partial answer, but a wave of divine clarity, favor, and acceleration that will make up for everything that made you weep. You are being paid in overflow for what you endured in silence. You didn't lose your mind. You found your strength. You didn't lose your faith. You purified it. You didn't lose your future. You actually stepped closer to it. The battle that tried to break you is the very one that built the muscles you needed to carry your destiny. And now that the answer has arrived, it's arriving to a version of you that's refined, stronger, wiser, and finally ready to receive what's been stored up all along. There are breakthroughs happening now that don't need your permission. They only need your preparation. That's why things feel lighter all of a sudden. Why you're catching your breath again. Why the anxiety is starting to dissolve and the heaviness is lifting. Because the spiritual realm has shifted in your favor and heaven has made a decree. It's your turn. It's your restoration. It's your season of divine justice. Justice is coming in forms you never expected. People who doubted you will witness your rise. Environments that once rejected you will have to make room for your glow. The places that tried to exclude you will be the very ones announcing your name. What they thought was your end was only your emergence. And now, the answer isn't just coming. It's proving everything that once made you cry was a setup for something glorious. Feel that? It's not just emotion. It's confirmation. It's the spiritual alignment of your soul, recognizing what your spirit always knew. That this was coming. That the answer had to arrive. That the promise couldn't be denied forever. Because what's destined is stronger than what's delayed. And what's divinely written is stronger than what's temporarily withheld. No one can stop this next move in your life. It's bigger than you. It's been orchestrated beyond the reach of people, beyond the opinions of doubters, beyond the limits of your past. This isn't about who you used to be. It's about who you're becoming. And the version of you that's emerging is about to walk in rooms your old self could only dream of. Because the answer didn't just arrive for comfort. It arrived for elevation. This is why you had to heal. This is why you had to go through the shedding, the stretching, the stillness. Because the answer is carrying weight. It's carrying revelation. It's carrying wealth, purpose, love, alignment, health, all of it. And you can't carry that in broken pieces. That's why the healing had to come first. And now, because you've surrendered what hurt you, you're ready to receive what will empower you. Don't look back. What's ahead is too powerful, too specific, too intentional. You don't need to revisit old stories to understand your worth. Your new chapter is proof enough. The answer will speak louder than the heartbreak. The manifestation will shout louder than the years of silence. The reward will silence the critics and awaken every sleeping part of you that forgot how powerful your light truly is. You're not just about to receive a blessing. You're about to become a blessing. People will look at your life and feel inspired, encouraged, energized. They'll see what's possible when someone refuses to quit. Your life is shifting into alignment so deeply that it will not only heal you, it will heal those who cross paths with you. Because when the answer arrives for a chosen one, it carries healing for more than one soul. There are no more delays. The fog is lifting. The noise is quieting. Your path is clearing. What you've been sensing in your spirit is true. This isn't your imagination. The signs, the synchronicities, the confirmations, they're all pointing to this one reality. The answer is here. You no longer need to second guess what you've already been shown. You're not chasing, you're receiving. You're not hoping, you're living it now. The pain has passed, the cloud has lifted. You're rising now, not because you forced it, but because you've been divinely lifted. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your glow, for your peace, for your sudden joy. This is the season where you walk boldly without apologizing for your blessings. The answer was sent with your name on it, and now that it has landed, you're about to shine in ways no one saw coming. Let them wonder, let them ask, let them question. You don't need to explain the grace on your life, just walk in it. What they'll see is not just a comeback, but a transformation. Not just a breakthrough, but a complete, undeniable rebirth. Because when the answer comes from heaven, it doesn't just change your situation, it changes your identity. And your identity is being crowned in this very moment. Chosen one, you are now living in the frequency of fulfillment. What once felt like a cry for help has become a magnet for miracles. This is the season where your spiritual posture is pulling power into your reality. The answer didn't just arrive, it rearranged everything. You're stepping into a version of your life where the problems that once haunted you no longer hold the same weight. You've been upgraded on every level: mind, spirit, soul, and path. You no longer belong to the vibration of lack, desperation, or confusion. Those energies were only temporary visitors in your journey. They were never meant to define you. But because you endured them and learned from them, you are now walking with an insight most people never touch. You know how it feels to have nothing and still believe. You know how it feels to cry and still show up. You know what it takes to keep the fire burning when the world tries to snuff it out. And now, because of that resilience, you're receiving what only the prepared can carry. Fulfillment without guilt, favor without explanation, overflow without apology. The shift isn't coming. It already happened. You may not have seen all the external signs yet, but your inner world is testifying to it. Peace is returning. Confidence is reawakening. Excitement is rising. Those are not coincidences. Those are confirmations. You've entered the frequency where divine communication flows freely. You're not being guided by fear anymore. You're being led by alignment, by peace, by purpose. You don't need to prove anything. The answer proves it for you. Let the blessings speak. Let the shift show. You don't need to chase validation when divine timing is your advocate. What you're walking into will silence every doubt that was ever cast on your name. You will not have to say a word. The fruit will speak. The transformation will reveal it all. And the ones who thought you were down and done, they'll witness your rise and wonder how they missed your strength all along. It's not your job to convince anyone of your worth. That was never your role. Your only job is to stand fully in who you are, chosen, favored, aligned, and deeply protected. The answer did not arrive because you begged for it. It arrived because it was already yours. It arrived because you matured into the version of yourself that could hold it with reverence, with gratitude, with awareness. This is not about effort anymore. This is about alignment, flow, grace. The blessings are no longer withheld. You are cleared for divine release. From this moment forward, your vision will be clearer. You will notice how the right people begin to appear. The right ideas come faster. The burdens lift sooner. And the conversations you have will start confirming what your spirit already knows. That you are walking in divine orchestration. Even your footsteps are being led. Even your rest is productive. Even your silence is sacred now. Every piece of your life is being woven into something beautiful. The brokenness didn't disqualify you. It prepared you. And now the beauty that's emerging from the ashes is undeniable. You've become the version of yourself that doesn't collapse under pressure. You expand. You don't break. You build. You don't shrink. You shine. And now, the light you carry can no longer be hidden. Don't worry if others can't handle the weight of your blessings. What you're walking into was never designed to fit in everyone's understanding. Some people will try to minimize it, dismiss it, or question how it came so suddenly. Let them. That's not your concern. Your concern is receiving fully, boldly, without hesitation. The universe responds to confidence. Heaven moves through unwavering belief. You've already proven your faith. Now it's time to prove your ability to receive. Let go of every voice that told you you weren't ready. You are. Let go of every fear that told you it was too late. It's not. Let go of every doubt that whispered you weren't worthy. You've always been worthy. The delay was never about your value. It was about your preparation. And now that you've arrived in your season, the only thing left to do is step forward in full awareness that this is your divine moment. You'll notice how things that once triggered you no longer affect you. You'll feel peace in places that used to hold pain. You'll smile for no reason. You'll wake up with vision again. These are all signs that your inner world has aligned with your answered prayer. You're no longer in survival mode. You're in sacred receiving. The fight is over. The flood is here. There's a sacred confidence rising in you now. Not arrogance, not ego, but truth. The truth of knowing that you are deeply supported. That you've never been alone. That even in your worst moments, something greater was still working in your favor. And now, that greater is stepping into your reality. It's showing up as answers, as favor, as financial increase, as emotional healing, as divine connection, as renewed hope, as inspired action, as rest that restores everything. You've cried enough. You've waited long enough. You've done the work in silence. Now the rewards will speak out loud. The tables are turning. The energy is shifting. The answer didn't just arrive. It's about to show up in ways that make you drop to your knees in gratitude. Unexpected blessings, unexplainable breakthroughs, accelerated victories. This is your portion now. Stay open, stay aligned, stay expectant. You didn't come this far to see nothing happen. You've crossed the line where divine answers become physical results. And no matter what it looks like on the outside, remember this truth. It is done. What you asked for is already unfolding. The promise is already in motion. The miracle is already walking toward you with your name etched in gold. Chosen one, you are not stepping into a blessing. You are stepping into a divine flow. This isn't a moment. It's a movement. The answer has not just touched down. It's now running through every area of your life, saturating what was once dry, healing what was once wounded, and expanding what was once limited. You are no longer who you used to be. You're walking in a realm of restoration that rewrites every false narrative that tried to define you. The pressure you felt in the past wasn't punishment. It was the pressurizing of purpose. Now that the answer has arrived, you'll understand why the fire had to be so intense, why the tests were so personal, why the silence lasted so long. It was all because of what you were being prepared to carry. And now that your hands are open, your heart is ready, and your soul is aligned, the delivery is happening faster than your logic can grasp. It won't make sense. It's not supposed to. That's how you'll know it's divine. When you see doors fly open that you didn't knock on, when you receive blessings in areas where you only sowed tears, when strangers begin speaking life over you without knowing your story, that's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's the answer in motion. That's your manifestation rushing toward you with supernatural velocity. The money, the message, the opportunity, the healing. It's all en route. The logistics of heaven have shifted in your favor. The files have been stamped approved. The route has been cleared, and what once took months or years to manifest will now show up in days, even moments. Because when divine timing meets divine agreement, the outcome is instant. That's the power of now. That's the season you're in. You are no longer waiting for the right time. You are the right time. The alignment has already occurred. You don't need another sign. You are the sign. Everything that's coming is because of what you've already done in the dark. The meditations, the tears, the prayers, the healing, the silence. That was your preparation ground. And now the answer is coming, not because you forced it, but because you're finally ready to hold it with confidence and clarity. This is the energy that shatters limitations. You're not operating from fear anymore. You're operating from flow, from faith, from fulfillment. That's why old distractions no longer stick. That's why old fears no longer work, because you've elevated beyond them. Your frequency is too high for chaos now. You're tuned to peace. You're operating on purpose. You're breathing in alignment and exhaling power. Feel the shift, because it's real. Your emotions are settling. Your heart is healing. Your steps feel lighter. You're no longer weighed down by what if. You're empowered by what is, and what is, you're chosen. You're backed by divine energy. And your life is being rewritten with sudden miracles that will feel too good to be true. But they're true, and they're yours. The tears that used to soak your pillow have dried, and now the only thing soaking your life is overflow. Overflow of joy. Overflow of direction. Overflow of divine compensation. You are receiving more than you asked for because you endured more than they knew. Heaven is compensating you for silent suffering. You cried in private. Now you'll celebrate in public, and those who witnessed your pain will witness your glow. Don't shrink from this moment. Don't minimize the blessings because they feel too big. You've already paid the price. Now it's time to receive in full. This is the season where you stop trying to fix what broke you and start building with what healed you. You've crossed over. The wilderness is behind you. The answers are ahead of you. And they're not just coming, they're here. The opportunities you've been dreaming of, they're about to call you. The love you've been praying for, it's about to locate you. The wealth you've been aligning with, it's flowing into your hands. The clarity you've been seeking, it's filling your spirit. Because when divine alignment is established, manifestation becomes effortless. You're no longer striving, you're magnetizing. There is no going back to the old version of you. That version was necessary for your growth, but it cannot hold what you're about to carry. You are no longer becoming, you have become. And now, you'll move differently. You'll speak differently. You'll attract differently. That's what happens when the answer arrives. Your whole atmosphere shifts. You'll notice how quickly your spirit discerns what aligns and what doesn't. You won't waste time anymore. You won't chase what's not meant for you. You won't explain your vision to people who can't see. You'll walk with assurance, even when no one claps. Because the answer didn't come for attention. It came for impact. You're walking into a realm where your light does the talking. Every delay was working for you. Every no was divine navigation. Every closed door was divine redirection. And now that the answer has arrived, you're realizing none of it was wasted. The pain had a purpose. The waiting had weight. The preparation had power. And the reward? The reward is now. This isn't temporary. This is your new timeline. You've officially shifted from hoping to holding, from waiting to witnessing, from tears to triumph. And no force in this universe can take from you what divine hands have delivered. You've entered a zone where what you speak manifests, where what you think attracts, where who you are is enough. Let your posture shift. Let your mind recalibrate. Let your spirit celebrate. This is the era of answered prayers, and you are its living proof. You're not here by accident. You're not stumbling into blessing. You're walking in it on purpose. The divine blueprint is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment now carries momentum. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. You've crossed over. You're not returning to the way things were. You're not repeating old cycles. The tears were the breaking, but this is the birthing. And now all of heaven is responding to the call you whispered in pain. And the response is loud, clear, and undeniable. The answer has arrived. The atmosphere has changed. You can feel it in your bones, can't you? The tension is no longer fear. It's expectation. The energy in your life isn't chaotic anymore. It's charged with potential. The clouds that hovered over your spirit have cleared, and in their place is light, warmth, and divine direction. The answer didn't come to temporarily relieve you. It came to permanently reposition you. What was once broken is now being rebuilt into something unshakable. This is not a restart. This is a divine upgrade. You're not returning to where you were. You're stepping into a future that's never been lived before. You've become the kind of person who doesn't just hope for change. You attract it. You've evolved into a magnet for miracles. Not because you're perfect, but because you're open, humble, aligned. The answer had to wait for that version of you. And now, it's found you. People who used to overlook you will now be drawn to your presence without knowing why. Spaces that used to feel tight and limiting will no longer hold you. You're too expansive now. You've grown too much. You've seen too much. And because of that, your environment must expand to match the new inner reality you've cultivated. You're not shrinking anymore. You're not second-guessing anymore. You're walking in boldness, the kind that only comes from divine confirmation. The heaviness that clung to your shoulders has dissolved. The fear that once paralyzed your movement has disappeared. Why? Because the answer brings more than solutions. It brings peace. And peace is the greatest evidence that you are in divine flow. You don't have to fight for what's yours. You just have to walk in it, receive it, breathe it in. This is your divine portion. Let the old version of you fall away. Let the past go with grace. You've already outgrown those lessons. You don't need to revisit what broke you. You've extracted the wisdom. Now let the reward take root. Everything in your life is being restructured to support the new. New identity, new territory, new capacity, new outcomes. And all of it is flowing with ease, because your spirit is no longer resisting what's divinely appointed. There's a reason why things feel different now. You're not desperate anymore. You're decisive. You're not anxious anymore. You're assured. You're not waiting for approval. You're walking in authority. That's what happens when the answer arrives. It brings a spiritual upgrade that transforms every layer of your being. You speak differently. You walk differently. You radiate differently. And people will notice. Not because you're louder, but because you're clearer. The clarity you've been craving has landed. You'll know what to do next, without striving. You'll feel peace in decisions that once felt paralyzing. The fog has lifted. The tension has broken. The path is revealed. And every step you take from here forward is covered in grace, covered in favor, covered in divine momentum that cannot be interrupted. You're not just getting answers for the questions you've asked. You're getting closure for the things that never made sense. You're getting peace for the pain that once robbed you of sleep. You're getting restoration for the areas you thought were lost forever. The answer is full. The answer is complete. The answer is healing what logic couldn't explain.